Hello and good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Len Jahi and our channel is called A Different Perspective. Well, today we get to talk about something nicely interesting, and that is dating or flingish or your situationship nyo tuko nazo hapa hivi nje. So, listen. I have learned a few things that I know most of us just cruise through knowing people and finding ourselves in relationship and never ever talking about them, either one because we're too scared of losing people, or we don't wanna push or assert ourselves too much. But this is the thing, and I know this because I've had conversation with different people, and I've also just recently started practicing it. And it's the hard conversations. How do you have conversations about debt, about health, about expectations, about like what are your plans for the next 5 years? I don't know. Somehow we just think we have a lot of time, so we can do something here and there and there. Before you realize it, time catches up, and you're left wondering, okay, well, I was in this relationship, it didn't work, but when I moved on to the second, did I still carry the baggage from the previous relationship, or is it something that I worked on my end to be able to communicate? Number one is talking about issues about debt. Money is a very important part of our lives because we live in a material world, and how this is communicated in relationship is very tricky because money is a very sensitive subject. You should be able to talk about it. You should. I mean, just find a way of having a conversation and just put people into a test situation, because how people behave around money or how they respond about money situation, it really gives you a lot of info about the kind of person they are. The other thing is matters health. I know we are only worried about a few things like getting pregnant or getting HIV, but what about these other health issues? Diabetes, your genetic line, what are the things that you guys face? This family, kuna ni diseases gani zinaitwa nini? Hereditary, You get into a relationship, when you're way into it, then you realize, oh, well, there's a 1, 2, 3 things that I should have known about a particular person that I didn't, and now they're affecting our lives, and I don't know how to go about it. I know dating nakatamu when it's all going out, having drinks, going into the world, touring. That is the surface, the things that look, the ones that shimmer and glitter. But I think as young people and people who are not settled yet, it's important, it's imperative that we get to have conversations about these things that really count later on when you have moved past the honeymoon stage. Okay? What is how disciplined is the person, right? Is it the kind of person that they will say will they do what they say they will do? Are they consistent in their word and their actions? And these things look so pepper smart, like they look like those things that should be in theory, but this is the thing, they have to be applicable in our lives, and we have to find a way of communicating that amongst ourselves without no one taking offense, but communicating with the aim of comprehending or understanding the other person that you are with in a relationship. And probably I'm not the best person to talk about relationship, but I know certain things needs to be communicated either earlier on in the relationship or on the onset of the relationship, because they're very critical, and if they're not addressed earlier, unasikia usipoziba nini ufa utajenga kuta. No, na just sijaisema right, lakini unajua kile nasema, if you don't seal a crack, you'll get a hole. Something like that. So in your endeavors, and it's never too early to start these conversations. From 23, 24, 25, you already know a few things that you like and you don't like. And maybe sometimes it's hard to know what you want, but you definitely know what you don't want. And the moment you see those traits in someone, I think the lie we keep telling ourselves is that maybe if we dated for about 1 year, maybe they're gonna be different. It's still the same consistent person. If there are some traits you saw in them and you didn't like from the word go, and it's something you have communicated and they're very reluctant about changing them, you should know that's just who they are. And don't msistress watoto wenyewe huku hivi asking them to be other people who they're not willing to be, you know. So I know, and I know these things, they're easily said than done. But the moment we stop being scared of losing people in our lives, we set ourselves free, you know, because those who are meant for you will always find you. And like I've always said, love will always find a way. So let's allow ourselves to be fluid enough to go for the things that we know we're okay, we can contend with, you know. We can make peace with, because I know there's nobody that is 100% that is true, but then there's a certain madness you can deal with. There's another one, someone, hey, Mimi, that's not for me. Somebody else probably will manage that. For me, it's not for me, and that doesn't make either of you a bad person. It's just it's not part of the things you're looking for in a girlfriend or in a boyfriend or in a lover or a husband. I don't know. But you need to know those things for yourself. You really do. Otherwise, you spend 10 years of your life, you're caught up in a situation that you don't know how to remove yourself from, just because you were too scared to have these very critical conversations at the onset of the relationship. Either because you're too scared to lose them, but essentially what happens when it's 10 years down the line, you have lost yourself. So najua nimetumia jina so mara mingi, but yes. Find a way of having these conversations. And that's why they say you need to be dating your friend. Even with friends, sometimes it gets really hard to have certain conversation. But if you find people that have these uncomfortable conversations and it doesn't change them, you should choose them more. I mean, you should. Those are green flags. I know they may make you uncomfortable because it's something you're not used to, but that's how you know you're attracting the right people in your life. When you have conversations around debt, around hereditary illnesses, around kids, around family planning. I know it sounds too serious, but yes, if you find people you can have these conversations around and it doesn't change the nature of your relationship, then you know you're attracting the right people. But when you're having this conversation with people and they're running, child, that there is your red flag. And the opposite is your green flag. What? Flag. Blame my ancestors, R na L na kwa shida sa zingine. So I guess it's nothing too deep today. So I guess I'll see you next time. And try, even if you don't have to have all those conversations together, just try and have one. Let's say talk about hereditary diseases, or talk about money, you know, or talk about how you feel about family planning, you know, talk about house chores. There are just people when you're paying to kufanya kazi zingine. How does your partner take this? You know, very small things, but are really very huge. And some of them are really big things that are very necessary to be talked about and not swept under the whatever, how's it called, under the rug. So until next time, bye.